Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nathan. If you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC 228 main card. Post-fight rundown of the main card and see how well I did on my predictions on this card. And yeah, I was on the winning side of this card, and so yeah, I'll go do a rundown of this main card. In the main event in the welterweight division, we had the welterweight UFC title on the line. Tyrone Woodley defending for the umpteenth time against Darren Till. And I was on the edge of my seat with this fight because I didn't know who was going to win, how this was going to play out. I was convinced it was going to go to a decision and it would be like a real nail-biter. It could go either way. But Tyrone dominated in the first round and then finished him in the second round. He landed some good strikes in the clinch in the first round, and then took him down in the second and pounded him out and got a submission Darce choke. It was pretty slick. I mean, he really wore out Darren Till. And oh, and just heads up, that stupid cricket's still making sounds. Hopefully that thing leaves. Anyway, so if you hear that in the background, this is stupid cricket. Anyways, so yeah, Tyrone Woodley has defended the belt against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Damian Maia, and Darren Till at this point. And he had that one draw against Stephen Thompson and the one legit clean win. Anyhow, 4 title defenses. Looking good for Tyrone Woodley, and he needed this win, I think, to help build his legacy and make a statement, and he needed a finish because a lot of people were upset at him over the Damian Maia fight, but I felt he did what he had to win, even though it wasn't the most exciting thing. Sometimes you do what you got to do to win, and this one, I think stylistically it played in his favor, where he had to get a finish and had to really put pressure on him to get the win, because otherwise, Till being over 10 years younger, he would have more momentum in the later rounds he might have felt, so he really put pressure on him. So yeah, it was second round, Darce choke, 4 minutes 19 seconds. It was an amazing win for the chosen one, Tyrone Woodley, former Strikeforce superstar sensation and UFC superstar and current UFC welterweight champ of the world. And in the co-main event in the women's strawweight division, we had Jessica Andrade versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and that was a shocker. I was not expecting Jessica to win KO punch round 1, less than 2 minutes into the first round. I thought Karolina would stand and trade and work the jab and find range, but yeah, like I said on my pre-fight show, I thought Jessica was going to win by decision and just essentially outpoint Karolina, and because she would get within the reach of Karolina after Karolina works her jab. But yeah, Karolina did land a couple jabs that look nice and clean, but then after that, Jessica Andrade did her thing and won KO punch. It was a killer knockout, and then yeah, I think Jessica Andrade is either title fight now in the women's strawweight division or one fight away from it at this point. Anyhow, then in the featherweight division we had Zabit Magomedov versus Brandon Davis. This one I knew Zabit was going to win, but I thought it was going to be by decision. And so yeah, Zabit won, and it was submission Sulo of stretch, and it was round 2, 3 minutes 46 seconds. Impressive performance by Zabit, and yeah, Brandon Davis may not be the biggest name, but he's a respectable name. He was on the Contender Series. He's no slouch. He's trained with the likes of Jason Knight and many other superstars over the years. So a win over Brandon Davis is definitely a solid win in the UFC. I mean, as is any wins in the UFC, but yeah, this one definitely, eyeballs were watching, and it being on the main card of the pay-per-view. Then in the bantamweight division, we had Jimmy Rivera versus John Dodson. This one went decision, 30-27 on 2 of the judges and 29-28 for the third judge. And yeah, this is one of the two fights I got wrong on the main card. So Jimmy Rivera just basically uses height and reach and was able to outpoint John Dodson in stand-up, and this was pretty much a stand-up fight. John Dodson had some good footwork in certain parts of the fight, but Jimmy Rivera was able to cut that off and really work his combinations pretty well and land some good heavy shots and keep John Dodson at bay, which won him the fight. Then in the welterweight division, to kick off the main card, we had Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Nico Price. This fight, wow, KO punch, round 1, 43 seconds into it. Abdul made a statement with this big win. Yeah, this is the other fight I got wrong out of the 5, so I went 3-2 on this main card. Yeah, I thought Nico Price was going to win because he has knockout power and he's fought the tougher competition, I felt. Abdul now has a big win over Nico Price, and this puts him on the map. So he's a breakout star as far as I'm concerned in the welterweight division, whether fans like it or not. And so this was a great fight. And then honorable mention on the prelims in the bantamweight division for Jared Brooks. Congrats on his big win. And Aljamain Sterling, and also Arena Aldana had an impressive match. So congrats to those guys on the prelims. They had impressive performances and hard-fought victories. And this was just an exciting card. There is so many great matches on this card. Whoever, whatever, however the, however you see this card, it had great matches top to bottom. There's, maybe 1 or 2 matches that could have been better, but I mean, we've all seen worse, and this card really didn't have any truly bad matches on it. I was very impressed by this card. If you haven't seen it yet, check out a replay. Check out a replay of the Fight Pass prelims, the FX prelims, and then the pay-per-view main card. All the fights were pretty much worth watching. And that wraps up my post-fight show for this card, and stay tuned in the coming days for my pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night Hunt versus Oleinik. That's going to be a great fight card and it's going to be exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. So until then, see ya.